What advice did you follow that everyone thought was stupid? My uncle told me, drop out of high school and start a lawn care business. Rich people are too lazy to mow their own grass, and they'll pay anything to avoid sweating. When I was 16, I was barely passing my classes, and everyone kept saying I needed to graduate to have any future. My parents were constantly on my case about grades, threatening summer school if I didn't bring up my GPA. But Uncle Mike had a different perspective. He'd been watching me work on his landscaping crew during summers since I was 14. You're wasting time in those classrooms, he said one afternoon while we were edging a mansion's lawn. These people just paid me $200 to cut grass that took 2 hours. Do the math on what college graduates make per hour versus what I charge. That conversation stuck with me. I started paying attention to how much customers were willing to spend on lawn care. One lady paid $150 every week just for basic mowing and trimming. Another guy paid $500 monthly for full landscape maintenance. These weren't struggling families. They were doctors and lawyers who valued their time more than money. Everyone thought I was crazy when I dropped out junior year. My parents threatened to kick me out. My teachers said I was throwing my life away. My friends couldn't believe I was choosing yard work over a diploma. You'll regret this forever, my guidance counselor warned. Nobody respects people without education. But I took my savings from working weekends and bought a used truck, commercial mower, and basic equipment. I started with my uncle's overflow customers who needed extra help during busy season. Word spread quickly through wealthy neighborhoods about the kid who showed up on time and actually cared about details. Within 6 months, I had 20 regular clients paying me $100–300 per visit. I wasn't just cutting grass anymore. I was designing flower beds, installing irrigation systems, and maintaining elaborate landscapes. Rich people were referring me to their neighbors because good lawn care was surprisingly hard to find. The breakthrough came when Mrs. Henderson asked if I could handle her entire backyard renovation. She wanted new sod, decorative lighting, and a complete sprinkler system. The job was worth $8,000, more than most of my friends would make in their first jobs after graduation. I hired 2 helpers and completed it in 3 weeks. That success led to bigger contracts. Soon I was bidding on commercial properties, apartment complexes, and high-end developments. I learned business skills through experience rather than textbooks. Dealing with demanding customers taught me negotiation. Managing crews taught me leadership. Handling money taught me accounting. 2 years after dropping out, I incorporated my business and hired full-time employees. My former classmates were graduating into a competitive job market with student debt. Meanwhile, I was grossing 6 figures annually with 0 educational expenses and a growing client base. The really satisfying part came when my old math teacher hired my company to maintain his lawn. Same guy who said I'd never amount to anything without a diploma was writing me checks for $200 monthly. He admitted he wished he'd considered alternatives to traditional career paths when he was young. Now I own 3 trucks, employ 12 people, and have contracts with major property management companies. My parents finally stopped asking when I'm going back to school. Uncle Mike brags about his business advice to anyone who'll listen. Last month, I bought the house across from my old high school. My former guidance counselor drives past my trucks every morning on her way to work. I wonder if she still tells struggling students that dropping out ruins lives. Sometimes the best education comes from taking risks everyone else thinks are stupid.